Von Blackbow here. And before we get started, I'm just going to let you know two little things. I do not approve of anybody stealing anyone else's sound or audio files of any kind, nor do I approve or condone anybody stealing anybody's art, pictures, photographs, or anything else like that. I'd much rather you prefer trying to contact those people and say what you want to do with it and try to get them to give you a yes answer. So, with that in mind, how to make your own Choose Your Own Adventure video part 4 of 4. That is images. Now what I'm about to show you is images of a D&D group that I was in. And as you can see, the first one here is a human fighter who was pretty good. I mean, I have to say, he kept our butts saved a lot of the time. But what he told me is how his character looked in his mind, and I just drew it out from there, and then actually went in, scanned it in, and used the art program. The next one is a Cobalt Sorcerer. That was actually quite a fun character too. Lots of fun. No one really trusted him, but he had trust issues of his own, so that was his own thing. And then the last one was a Shadarkai rogue. Be honest, she was the one person in the party who you could depend on to be completely honest and not steal anything, which actually was seeming quite ironic most of the time. Now, there's the whole party together, and notice how I put some size differences between each of them because Zai actually happened to be about 3 feet tall. Relic was something around the range of like a 5'3", 5'4", I believe, and then Vincent was an over 6 foot character. So you just gotta keep that kind of stuff in mind if you're drawing the characters out as a group, because when you got someone who's a halfling who's 3 feet, and you got a Goliath who's over 7.5, you don't want the halfling and the Goliath looking like they're the same size. Now the next thing I'm showing you here is an item that we actually had custom produced in the game. It was for Vincent. And that was just another thing you can just think about is like if you're going to do a special item that the person's going to discover or find, you can always color and design it. Now, does everything have to be drawn pictures or artwork that you do yourself? Not necessarily. What I'm about to show you here is a series of still pictures I took when I've been walking in the woods. As you can see here, that's a river with black water. You can always use something like that when you're going along and find something interesting. You take a picture of it, then you can draw it later, or you can alter it in your editing software, or just keep it as it is. Now I showed several more pictures here where it's obvious walking and horse riding trails, several bridges, cliffs. Depending on where you live, you can really let this imagination go with you. And then here's a burn scar from the mountains in Colorado. I actually lived near around that area, so. Anyways, that's a general idea of what you can do, and then just showing you the basics. All I had was a pencil, a ruler, and a piece of paper. Now, I just started off by doing a basic rectangular shape that then I extended lines out to all edges of the corners to give it a sense of depth. Now, as this room starts to develop, here I put in a bar line and a stairwell going upstairs. Now, if you're wanting to figure out how to do this kind of stuff, just stand at the entrance of a door and look through it. What you might realize then is that once you get your eyes around the details of one particular thing, then you can work your way around it. Now, the next part after that is I threw in a table and then I start throwing in several more tables because I'm turning this into a bar. I also threw in a fireplace because all the good bars have a fireplace, especially in a D&D game. You keep on adding in little details like that. You start with one side and work your way out. So once I've gotten it to the point where I've added in several more tables, I've added in stools, I've added in some interesting objects. For example, you just see the legs just mysteriously appearing here. And then I'm starting to show off arms and chest pieces. And then I just put up the name of the bar because I am very sick of hearing the Silver Lion bar or any of the other normal mundane ones, or if you're using something off of Lord of the Rings, or if you're using something off of any number of other medieval D&D worlds where they have the same bar name everywhere. So this is actually happens to be the Golem's Graveyard. My idea for this is if it was an adventurer that decided he's going to stop adventuring, he's getting on in years, so it just takes his loot, the golems that he has slaughtered in his past, and he decides to open up a bar with that theme. Now I threw in some final details here where we're doing the ceiling, making it look like there's wood planks that are a little bit cracked, creased. There's a hole in one of them. Then you can throw in other little details, and at this point, if you want to just have it save and scan it at this point and then come back and add in more details, like adding in a couple of characters that might be sitting in tables or behind the bar, or if you're going to throw in an item that the person might search, check, and find and then collect it. Like I just threw it in the large metal golem's hand. I just made that look like it was a little scroll that might have been tucked in there at the last moment, someone hastily trying to hide it. Anyways, that's the basic premise around the whole idea. I just want you guys to come up with your own style, come up with your own good ideas that you might like and enjoy, and work on it from there. And if these videos have been helpful to you at any point, I'd really love to hear about it. And if you need help putting it together, I suggest looking for other videos because I've seen so many of them, it's not funny. And so if you come up with any of your own choose your own adventures, I'd love to hear them and see them. Well, have a good time.